Welcome back. In this video, we're going to talk about the filter method. Now let's learn about the filter method, which as we learned before is to filter for elements that satisfy a certain condition. And how do we specify such a condition? Well, you guessed it. We used a callback function again. So let's again work with our movements. And so now the filter array, once again, I will just start with the regular function. Just look like another callback function like in the map. So let me just write here the movement dot filter, and then here let me just do the callback function of. Okay, so for each, this one gets access to the current array elements as well as the index and then the array. But now let's work with the current element here, which in filters is usually all that we need. Okay, now what we want to do here is to create an array of the deposits. So let's actually write that. So let me just say here the constant deposit here equals to this. So the deposits are the moments that are above zero. So let's look at the moments here. So we want to filter out these negative values so that the conditions is, so we want only the values that has the conditions will then make it to the new array. Passing this condition means if it is true. Here let me just write the code. Here we'll just the move, and then here we'll simply return move greater than 0. Then only if this statement is true, then only it just passes out. And so now the array elements for which this condition is true will make it to the deposits array, and all the others will simply get filtered out. So this will not be included in the deposit array. So here let me just say console.log deposit. So when I run this, from this moments array, we just filtered out the negative values and only the positive values were printed out there. So just as I told you, if you want to know how to use the callback function correctly, if you know how and why it works, then all these methods become really simple. And once more, I want to use this for off loop here again. So if you can appreciate the difference, that's very simple. So we need, of course, the same condition here. So what we will do here is we will just create here the for of. Okay. So here we'll just say constant new of movements, and then here above we need to declare here the constant deposits for. So here we need to set this into an empty array. Okay, and here we'll just use the same condition as before if okay, and then here we'll just use the deposits for dot push of more, and then we'll just console.log this deposits for. So when we run this, as you can see here, we got the same output, and also here let me just call console.log movements. So when we run this, see from these negative values it removed and it is giving the only positive values. Here the both the values are same. So in this case, we simply used here the push it here, and then also we push the current movement. And so let's take a look at now here. As we expected here, we got the same results. You could again ask what is the big difference here? Like the big deal, why not use the for of loop here for everything? And the reason for that is again the push that exists in JavaScript for using more functional code like this. But there are also more practical implication here. That's because we can actually chain all of these methods together. So basically, we could use them all one after another to a big final result. So a bit similar, in fact, what we did above here. So in our application, so here we are mixing the string methods with the array methods, but later on we'll do like big chains only with the array methods, and that would be completely impossible using the for loop. So for that, another big advantage of using this method instead of the regular for loop. Now anyway, I have just another small challenge here for you, which is to create an array of the withdrawal. So I want you to create this array without looking at the code we already wrote. So the withdrawal should only include the negative numbers too. So pause this video for a minute and just try to do it. So don't see the above this here logic. So coming back here, let's just do constant withdrawal. So here we'll just say movements dot filter of move. Here using the arrow function here, we'll just use, so, and then here we'll just simply say console.log. As you can see here, it will get only the negative values, it removes the every positive values. So we got the negative numbers here now, and all the positive ones get the result of the false here in this condition. Therefore, it is not included in the withdrawal array. And again, this callback function here also get access to the current index in the whole array, which is here the move I and array. So this was the second of the data transformation methods. So that's map, filter, and reduce. And in the next video, we'll talk about the reduce.